Yo, what is up, boys? So today we have a little bit of a different video today, specifically because I got two comments in my most recent video. One of them was essentially blatantly calling me a cheater, and the other one was saying that the information I was putting out was complete BS. And I don't necessarily blame these people for these comments because at the end of the day, it is my job to give you guys enough information to make you guys feel like I am telling the truth. So I never properly introduced myself to the internet, so I'm going to do that today. So for those of you that don't know, my name is Gaston. That's my real name. Yes, I'm not as buff as that guy, unfortunately, and nor as handsome. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing a black dress shirt, it's not because I wanted to dress up for the occasion. It's because I just got home from work. So I am a busboy. I work at a restaurant near me, and it's a pretty semi-fancy restaurant. Meals are kind of expensive, so I make a pretty decent living there. But at the end of the day, I am a busboy, right? And I don't make really realistically that much money. And most people are gonna be like, well, how are you a whale then? If you just, if you're a busboy. And well, the answer is very simple. I live with my parents. And I live with my parents because I did the whole, moving out. Me and my parents didn't really have the greatest start in our relationship. So I moved out when I was 18, 20, several times, a lot. But the biggest one was when I was 20, and I moved to Kansas when I did that. So that was like the really big move. And 8 years later, it all came crashing and burning, and now we're here. And I was fortunate enough to have parents that came in when I needed them the most, and they wanted to reconcile and have a better relationship with me and me with them. So here we are now, and I've been extremely blessed to be in the situation that I'm in, and I'm extremely thankful for my parents every single day. And this is one of the reasons why I don't really like when people necessarily put me on a pedestal. I get comments all the time from people who came into saw my YouTube videos, and then they DM me on Discord, or they come to my server, and then they talk with me, and they're like, oh wow, I never talked to a YouTuber before, or I didn't think you'd respond. And honestly, guys, it's whatever you guys think how cool it is for me to respond to you. It is, to me, much cooler that you guys message me. Personally, I love when people message me. It's amazing. And the reason I think it's amazing is because I just love helping people personally. I love helping the boys do more damage. I love helping the boys do basically anything. If you go back into my YouTube, you'll see that I played Marvel Rivals. A lot of people have noticed that, and but what most people haven't noticed is what I mainly did was coach in Marvel Rivals. And I don't necessarily see what I do now very differently than what I did with Marvel Rivals. I still kind of see myself as coaching people, and so I've always wanted to coach people. I've always wanted to help people, and I've played many games. I'll actually put some clips up so you guys can see from my Twitch, because I've done the whole content creation thing for quite a while actually. I've just never been super successful at it because I've done it extremely casually, but I played a whole bunch of games from, Valorant, Marvel Rivals, World of Warcraft, League of Legends. Basically, if it was popular and competitive, I played it. And basically, the point that I'm trying to make is that I played video games for a very long time, and I played them pretty religiously. And I think I play them for the same reasons most people play them. I just want an escape from the world, and I think that's very relatable. I think most people want some kind of escape from the world. This all started, obviously, I think for most of us, back in high school, maybe even earlier. I was very much bullied when I was in high school. I was one of those kids that I was with the kids that hung out and went to the library and had Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I didn't bring Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but I hung out with them, so I was just grouped up with them. But honestly, that shit was cool as fuck, bro. Bros were just having fun, having a good time, and that shit was cool. And so obviously when I was in high school, I was bullied a lot, and this led me to video games for the most part. And I sought an escape from the world. And because I played video games so extensively, I ended up just, getting really, really good at them. And I ended up getting really, really good at them because, like winning is fun and losing is not. And when I'm playing with the boys, I want to win, I want to have fun. So naturally, I tried a lot harder than my friends to be a lot better at the games that we always all played. And, over time, this culminated into what we have today, which is, I'm pretty good at every game I play. There's obviously exceptions to every single rule. My exception being I'm not the greatest at League of Legends. Never have been, never really will be. And I'm okay with that. Highest rank I ever got was like plat. It's a pretty respectable rank, I think. Maybe not. People who are in diamond think I'm dog shit. People who are in gold think I'm good. Yeah, it is what it is. But in games like Valorant, I got diamond. This was back before like emerald was a thing, so it was a lot closer to immortal than it is today. I played Overwatch back in the day. Got Grandmaster, and that was the highest rank I got. Played Marvel Rivals, obviously. I reached top 500 several times. Top 500 in Season 0, Season 1, and Season 1.5. Never officially hit one above all, because there's seasons where you can hit top 500 while still being in like GM Celestial. And then as the ranks get higher and higher into Celestial, then that's when, or Eternity, then that's when you actually can get one above all. So I never officially got one above all, but I got on the leaderboard. I have some screenshots of me getting the top 500 leaderboard several seasons in a row. So for the most part, right now, I really just hover in Celestial, which I also think is pretty, respectable rank. So not top 500, but, it is what it is. I play for fun now, at least. Did try to go pro, obviously didn't work out. But it is what it is. And the reason I basically got on this little tangent was because I don't need to cheat nor really want to cheat in video games. It doesn't really do anything for me. I'm a very competitive person by nature, and I have a very strong compass when it comes to cheating. Obviously, I'm actually a competitive player, and I have also dealt with cheaters in all of the games that I played. Dealt with cheaters in Valorant, dealt with cheaters in Apex Legends, PUBG, CSGO when I played that. Even in any game, basically, there's cheaters in almost every game. And universally, I think we gamers hate these dudes. And it's that simple. I hate these dudes. These guys are fucking losers. Not to say that I'm not a loser, right? At the end of the day, I'm 28 years old. Yeah, you guys heard about that, right? I am 28 years old. 28 years old, live with my parents. I have a part-time job as a busboy. No girlfriend, nowhere in sight. All my friends are online. And I spent all my money on video games and Coca-Cola, essentially. So, I'm definitely nobody to look up to. But I'm definitely not a cheater. It's definitely not something that I am. And, like I said, I don't blame these guys. So I really blame myself for just not giving you guys more context, not really introducing myself to the internet. And I think we always got on the wrong foot, especially with this community, because we started this whole thing with the Beats thing, and obviously I wasn't the nicest person to Beats, which is why I always call myself an asshole, because as I try to be a nice person, I usually fail. It is what it is. I have my shortcomings. I'm willing to admit them. But that's why I call myself an asshole, because I can't genuinely call myself a good person when in my heart of hearts, I don't believe that I am, even though I strive to be, when I know that there are people in this world who are genuinely good people. So I just don't feel comfortable calling myself that when I'm just not. I definitely have a lot to work on to be able to call myself a genuinely good person. So that's the context behind why I call myself an asshole. Hopefully that explanation helps the people who don't really like me. And hopefully this serves as an introduction to the internet, or at least the 7 Deadly Sins community. So a little bit of a short video, completely different than what I usually do. But I really just wanted to officially introduce myself to you guys. and give you guys just a little bit more context as to like who I am, what I do, why I do what I do. And you know, at the end of the day, I will be here helping the boys have a good time in their video games, and that's what I love to do. That's why, you know, if you come join my Discord, come hang out. Like if you see me in the VC, you know, pop in, say hi, you know, whatever. I just want to have fun with the boys, bro. And you know, the more boys I can get, the more fun I can get, and I truly believe that. Which is why, like in my Discord, like there's really no rules. You know, you just, you know, don't be a dick. You know, I try to follow that rule as well, and you know, just have fun. And you know, I put the description of my Discord in every single description, or the link to my Discord in every single description of my videos. So you guys are more than welcome to join. You know, always welcome to DM me, always welcome to vibe, hang out. You know, we play, you know, Mecha Chameleon. We've been starting to play that. We're starting to talk about like playing Repo and Jackbox, you know, especially in times when there's like really nothing to do in between updates. So, you know, the more the merrier, in my opinion. So, you know, this is my introduction to you guys. So, my name is Gaston, aka Zeradith. Nice to meet all of you, and I'll see you guys in the next video.